Hello everybody. What we're going to be doing right now is I'm going to show you how I eat, okay? Now, the first thing I want to mention is I do take a lot of nutritional supplementation because there's no nutrition in our food. You don't have to take my word for that. There's this thing called Congressional Act 264. I write about it in my book. And really, the food that we have today is extremely limited in nutrition. And this does cause some major problems with our health. But what I'm going to teach you today is my afternoon meal. My morning meal is a nutritional shake. My evening meal is a nutritional shake. My midday meal, usually between 1 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because I stop eating by 4 to 4:30 in the daytime and I'm done for the day. But what I'm going to show you is how I've managed to keep this meal very sacred, because it's very important that you get a high-fat meal somewhere in your day, because your body, especially us aging people, okay, because you can tell by the photo, I'm in my mid-50s, and it's very important for us to increase our cholesterol content, because cholesterol makes up 61% of your brain, and it's very good for thought and mind stuff. So what I'm going to do today is teach you guys how I make my eggs. So we're going to start with this pan here, and I get it really hot. Now I don't need to put anything in the pan because this is a really nice non-stick pan. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle this cheese into the pan here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to make what most people consider the bread, okay? Because most people, like if they think about an egg taco, they think about a taco shell, right? Well, today I'm going to make an egg taco, but it's going to be a little different than most people's egg taco. Number one, the taco shell is going to be made out of pure, and we're talking cheese, okay? Which, nobody really has a problem with. We're going to teach you how to make that today, okay? It's very important. And so I put enough cheese in there just to make a nice taco shell. Now we're going to put this in there and we're going to actually let it cook to the point where it actually needs a little bit more. Yeah, everybody's going, wow, that's a lot of cheese, Mark. Well, because you're trying to keep your fat content high, and the cheese has a really good high fat content, so that's good. So we'll put that over here. All right, so now what we're going to do in the meantime while this is cooking, okay, this has got to sort of like bubble up a little bit, and it's going to tend to get, cheese tends to start, when you fry it, it tends to start to get hard. And remember, like a hard shell type thing. But when I have my eggs, just so you understand, the egg itself is a great product. So I have one egg. Ta-da, okay? Now remember, on the egg, you have a yolk and you have a white, okay? So what I'm going to do in my preparation here is I'm going to get rid of the white, because remember, the white can convert to carbohydrates. Any form of lean protein, okay, lean protein can convert. So while I'm making this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your lean protein, because that's the rave today, is everybody talks about the lean protein. Well, lean protein actually, like turkey breast and chicken breast and all these other things like that, that's a lean protein. Lean protein has a pretty high conversion rate to carbohydrates. So in people who are carbohydrate sensitive, which I am one of those people, it's very good to try to limit those. Now, because I have such an extremely low carbohydrate diet, this isn't absolutely necessary for me to do, but I do it just because I don't want to stimulate any insulin. See, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background and what started me on this journey, while I'm cooking, by the way. So really, if you take a look at my story, and real quickly I'm going to stop and tell you that I have 1 whole egg and 3 yolks in here, okay? Now, your cardiac specialist is telling you stay away from this one, okay? Well, I am your cardiac specialist, okay? At age of 19, I was told I was going to die of some form of a cardiovascular event. And why I say this is because my father died of a cardiovascular event at 37 years of age. My middle brother had several events and his final one killed him at 41. And then my youngest brother actually died at 34 of a cardiovascular issue, okay? So I, being by far the oldest, okay, living relative I have, I eat like this all the time, okay? And how come I eat such extremely high fat and I'm not dead yet? Well, the simple fact is I don't eat the carbohydrates. See, if you were to have carbohydrates with this meal in any way, shape, or form, so let's talk about that for a second. Let's just say the average person goes to a restaurant. They order an omelet, which pretty much this has got the ingredients of an omelet, minus onions and peppers and so on. But then they have toast with it, and then they have some form of a liquid that has sugar, because most people drink orange juice with their breakfast, and or some other kind of bread. Well, the minute you consume a carbohydrate with this high density fat, you are now clogging arteries because you're converting your LDL cholesterol from type A pattern to type B pattern, and this is what causes the arteries to clog. I know, I don't have clogged arteries and I should be dead, okay? So, why I'm showing you this is to prove emphatically, okay, because this is how I eat all the time, that this is not what kills people. The only thing that kills human beings is we have way too much carbohydrate component in our diet. So why I'm showing you this video today is to teach you how to overcome, okay, and make a wonderful, I call it an egg taco. Okay, and that's really what it's going to end up being, is because when this shell gets done forming, and it's getting there now, okay, I'm going to show you this in a second so you can sort of see what it's going to do here. Then I have my contents, my 3 eggs, or I should say 1 egg, 3 yolks, okay? So again, this is a lot of fat. This is, I mean, the egg yolk, I can't even begin to tell you how wonderful the egg yolk is for the human body. It's like the perfect food. Just so rich in everything. And yeah, I know what you're saying. You're going, oh my gosh, Mark, what? You are so not making any sense according to what you guys know, and I get that, okay? That's the reason why I make the videos, because you're being lied to at such an intense... Seriously, you can't get away from those lies. You turn on the radio, the TV, you go to the doctor. All these places are telling you to eat wrong, okay? Now, why? Because I'm telling you right now, my doctor told me at age of 19 I would not live to see my 30th birthday. And he's wrong because I chose not to live the normal lifestyle. I went and investigated, and I learned what I needed to know so that I could live and live well for a long, long time. I'm on 0 medications, I'm in perfect health, I'm in great shape, 28¼ inch waist, okay, guys, I mean, I'm sorry, but there's absolutely nothing, see, nothing, no hanging over the belt line, no nothing, okay, and yet I'm eating tons and tons of fat. So obviously fat doesn't make you fat. Good point. So, I'm getting ready here, this is starting to do some bubbling, and here in a second I'm going to be able to sort of lift it up and roll it over. So I'm going to stop talking for a second and finish this up here so that I can finish the rest, pull it together, and show you how everything all works together. Again, if you have any questions, the information will be below. There'll be a link to my book below. But guys, please feel free to call me. I love to help people understand how to eat better. That's what my whole life has been dedicated to. I've helped tens of thousands of people live better, healthier lives and limit to, and sometimes totally eliminate all the medications because I taught them the real way that the human body is supposed to be fed. So again, I'll be quiet now. I'm going to try to get this in some sort of a shape. So what I'm going to be doing here is just trying to take this and you'll want to notice that when you're cooking it, the cheese is going to start to get a little hard. You know, it'll go from melting and being soft and gooey, and then as it starts to cook, it'll actually start to take on sort of a little harder, like shell-like form. So I'm looking for that right now. It is starting to happen. So, you know, and you can, I don't know if you can hear it on the video here, but it's starting to sort of bubble and pop. You know, and that's a good thing because then it's going to start to form, you know, something more of a solid, so we can make that real shell out of it. It's really cool. So, but this is the way I eat, guys. This is how I eat. Okay, I have eaten eggs every single day for the last 20 years. Probably more, but I can honestly say the last 20 years, every single day. 3 to 5 eggs every single day. And again, you know, this is just a way where it makes it feel like you're cheating, because this is actually going to feel like it's a carbohydrate. You know, that's sort of funny when I say that, but that's what it's going to make it feel like. So, okay, look, and there it is. Ah, we got her. Look at that. Okay, she's over. There we go. Now we're going to cook it on this side for a little while, just to firm it right back up and make it really look like a shell. Okay, and now remember, when we get ready to do the eggs, that'll be easy because the cheese is already going to leave a little bit of butter in the pan, because cheese does have milk fat, which is basically butter. So you won't have any problem with your eggs wanting to stick. But one thing that I'm going to tell you about the eggs, because it's so important, the egg yolk is just chocked full, like I said earlier, with cholesterol, and you don't want to overcook your cholesterol. So when you put your eggs in there, you want to sort of get them in, get them firmed up, and then get them out into your taco, and try to keep the majority of the nutrition in that egg yolk. If you really cook that egg yolk firmly and really get it like fully cooked, you're going to lose a lot of the great stuff that's in there, so you just want to really be careful of that. So this, I'm just checking it now, looks like we are, okay, I think we are, it's feeling pretty stiff. You want it to feel like a taco shell, you know, like one that you feel cooked in butter or something like that. All right, I think we're just about there, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take our taco shell, which is right there, guys. See it? And we're going to take our taco shell. I'm going to lay it right on the plate here. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful right there. So it's on. Now we're going to take the pan and we're going to go back over here, and we're going to, it's good and hot, so this will go quick. All right, listen to that. Okay, now remember, we don't want to overcook these. Okay, so the big thing is just get them to the point where they're, you know, they're cooked, but yet not overly cooked. And remember, the majority of this is yolk. There's very, very little, just a tiny bit of white in here, because there's only 1 egg white, 3 egg yolks. And you can go more than that if you're hungrier or you need to eat more. You can have another yolk, maybe even 1 whole other egg. But again, you want to limit the amount of white, because lean protein, nothing wrong with lean protein other than the fact if you're insulin sensitive, it will create fat around the midsection, and you won't have that tight, clean set of abs, okay? You know, I mean, for a man in my mid-50s, I mean, I got some serious tight abs. So, and again, that's, you know, I didn't do this for that. I did this for the heart disease, of which I don't have, okay? So it's working. But at the same time, there are so many massive benefits to eating high fat. Now remember, this meal alone, there will be no form of carbohydrate whatsoever at all. While I'm eating this, if I want a little bit of a liquid, I can have a cup of unsweetened tea or something to that effect, and that'll be fine. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually turn the heat completely off, because we're getting to the point where this is really showing signs of, you know, getting to the point where it's done enough that we don't want to add any more heat. We just want to sort of let it firm up a little bit. You know, we don't want it like liquid in your taco shell, but we definitely want to keep that goodness in that yolk. So the yolk is going to be a little bit on the soft side. It's not going to be like hard. Okay, so got her just about done. Alrighty, and then what we'll do is we'll just basically cut this into 2 pieces, put it in there, fold it over, and then we're good to go. And this is your basically an egg taco, and your taco shell is perfectly legal. Not only perfectly legal, but packed full of wonderful fat, which is really going to help you conquer weight loss, because weight gain is actually a side effect of malnutrition. So what's happening to most people in America today is they're getting dynamic malnutrition, and that's giving them overweight. And so if I can just get you eating what the body wants, and that's high, good sources of fat. You know, we don't want the trans fats, guys. We don't want the bad fat. We want the good fat. The good fat comes from, you know, the eggs, and it comes from the bacon, and it comes, yeah, I love it when I teach my class on bacon. Oh, that really messes with a lot of people. Yes, bacon is extremely good for you. It does not clog your arteries, ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Okay, so, but again, you gotta get my book and read it. It's a lot of fun. So, this is what we got here, guys. Okay, now I'm gonna take this right here, and I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna slip underneath here, and I'm just gonna roll this over, like so. And pull it back a little because it really went over. And now this is my egg taco. Okay. Now, personally myself, I'm gonna bring it over here so you guys can really see it. And I'm just gonna want to work this thing like I do, because I eat with my hands, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna just take and tuck it, roll it, pin it, and there you go. And this is my egg taco. I'm telling you guys, this is so incredibly wonderful. You're going to love it. Again, this is the way we were meant to eat. This is a dynamically high-fat, low-carb meal and has low amounts of lean protein. So it's going to help you greatly affect the way that your body stores insulin and ruins your testosterone, ruins all these things. So this is just a dynamic way of getting your health back. But remember, no carbs for this. You can have some hot black coffee or some hot tea or whatever with this. Give it about an hour, okay, to settle. And then if you want to eat anything else, like maybe you want to have something else that might have a carbohydrate in it, give it at least a full hour, and then you'll be fine. So again, thank you guys for tuning into my video. I hope you love your taco as much as I love mine. You have a very wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon.